Coming up, ensuring your reno runs smoothly, and later in the show, some cross-border investment tips.
Well, many of us are choosing to renovate our homes instead of upgrading to new ones. At this year's Vancouver Home Interior and Design Show, I met up with a professional for a primer to ensure your reno goes smoothly. A lot of people can't afford new developments, so they actually work with what they have. Do you find that now?
Exactly. Yeah, it's sort of the chicken and the egg thing where people can't afford to upgrade to a new home, so they end up renovating their existing home.
What's the best renovation? I always hear that kitchens and bathrooms you get the most money out of. Is that true?
Always kitchens and bathrooms. Family room combination additions are pretty big these days. Basements are making a big comeback. You know, there's not a lot of places where you can get space, and basements seem to be where people are looking. The big thing about basements is, though, you need to be able to have good design so that you're going to use them. Lighting is important, and design so that people are actually going to go down there and use it.
Okay, so once I get a design, how do I go about finding a renovator, or a contractor, a master carpenter, or all of the above? How does that work?
Well, what I recommend is that you interview probably 4 to 6 firms. Just have a telephone conversation with them and find the ones that are professional, and then shortlist that to probably 3, and then have a set of interview questions that you ask all of them, and make sure that you document the answers. And then once you've done that, then ask if you can go out and actually visit some of their projects and physically speak with the client. See the work and ask them if there's been any issues with respect to the projects that they've done. See one that they've done 2 years ago, 5 years. Were there any warranty issues? Were there any problems?
Let's talk a little bit about money. When I'm budgeting for a renovation, and let's say, would someone like you give me a quote? Is that how it works?
Well, the good ones will actually have a preliminary design process where you'll design towards a budget. There's 2 things that drive cost. Number one, the level of finishes. You know, are you going with plastic laminate countertops, or are you going with granite? Hardwood floors or linoleum floors? And the other thing that drives cost is the level of design. You know, how complicated is it going to be for me to build? What are the architectural details? What are the structural implications of me building it? You know, and how hard is it going to be for me to join the old in with the new? But until you actually have design and drawings, it's very difficult to say, you know, what that cost is going to be.
So once I have an idea, though, of the cost, so let's say we've got the designs and we've picked all our finishings and we've done all that, I still probably should budget a little bit more in a reserve fund run, right? Absolutely.
Well, you should have, I recommend that you have a 10% contingency budget for what I call the might as well as factor. Well, you're here now, you might as well do this. So that happens a lot. And also for unforeseens. You know, a lot of times, because we don't have x-ray vision, we start opening up walls and ceilings and stuff like that. And if there's some structural details that need to be dealt with that are incorrect before we can move forward, then you need to be able to have some extra money to deal with that before you can move forward with your project.
Any advice you have for anyone that's looking to renovate their home or do some major renovations?
Yes, there are professionals out there, and I think what you need to do is really do your homework. Go out and visit their clients. Go out and see the work. Very, very important. Don't just pick up the phone and say, hey, how did you know, this contractor do, or whatever. Physically go out and speak with the clients. That's your only insurance that you know that they've done good work and that they're reputable.
What phrases, what terms am I listening for to know that, hey, this might not be someone that I should work with?
Well, number one, if they're not willing to work with a contract, if they're looking for large sums of money up front, those are red flags. If they're not willing to give you references, you know, just don't even bother with them. That's very, very important.
When you're dealing with a strata, as someone who does work in someone's homes, is there any special precautions you need to take, or someone that me as an owner needs to take before I get someone like you to come and do work in my condo?
Well, I would recommend that you have your home prepared, and also if you have any valuables in your home, maybe look at have them stored off-site. If they're breakables or, you know, anything like that.
And then with respect to strata too, to make sure that I'm abiding by the bylaws, noise bylaws, work bylaws.
Oh yes, oh yes. I mean, you need, especially with condos, you need to find out what the rules are for that condo. Condos are a bit of a challenge too because of their uniqueness with respect to getting materials and labor in
Shared
and out.
space.
Yeah, yeah, you know, getting elevator time and you know, start and finish time. So they tend to take a little bit longer for that reason.
Up ahead, the latest renovation trends and some cross-border investment tips. How much did Canadians from urban areas spend on renovations in 2007? Was it A, 15 billion, B, 19 billion, or C, 13 billion? We'll have the answer after the break. Realty Television.